Front Row Motorsports changes team alliances. Jimmie Johnson will enter the Daytona 500, and we break down the entire schedule and format for the Clash at the Coliseum. Well, y'all, welcome back to Low to Bottom, another episode of me talking about NASCAR and cars turning left. I love it. If you didn't check out my last episode, go do that. Kind of covered up some small episodes. I'm in the exact same chair, same sweatshirt, just kind of, instead of like making one massive episode that's maybe like 20 minutes long, I kind of wanted to shrink it down, 2 episodes, easier to consume. So I'm excited to, break down some interesting stuff. There's been a lot of hot topics about some of these topics, so I'm looking forward to giving you my opinions. So I hope you guys enjoy. Castrol Motor Oil will be back with RFK Racing. They unveiled their paint scheme. It's the exact same paint scheme, just besides the Castrol logo is a little bit different. It doesn't have that white background. That's sick. I believe Castrol is celebrating their 125th anniversary of their existence. So it's big time brand, big time motor oil. So it's a big time sponsorship for RFK to have around. The first time this car will be on track will be with Brad Keselowski at the Clash at the Coliseum. And then they'll also sponsor Brad for the Daytona 500. And then Chris Buescher will have this paint scheme for the first Kansas race. So they'll have a big presence for them in the series. I think it's a great looking car, so I'm excited to see this on track. So we all know Justin Haley signed to Rick Ware Racing. Made us all believe that Rick Ware Racing is going to be up and coming. They had that whole alliance with RFK, so they're definitely getting that support. RFK is an up and coming Tier 1 Type 4 team. Well, we didn't know what his number could be, 15, 51, crew chief. Well, that's all been announced. Rick Ware Racing announced Chris Lawson, formerly of Front Row Motorsports, will crew chief for Justin Haley, whose car number will be 51. Driving the No 15 car still to be decided. Who knows? It could be Kaz Grala in the 15 car. So we officially have the car number 51. I don't know about sponsors. I know Neurotech's a big time sponsor for Rick Ware Racing, so who knows? They could be on board again. And then Chris Lawson, I don't know much about him as a crew chief. Was with Front Row Motorsports. I did hear some stuff that he's won a couple races in the truck series as a crew chief, so has some experience winning. So this should be a good pairing. I'm excited to see this. I want to see Rick Ware, back on top. I want to see them competitive. I want to see them winning and competing for opportunities to make playoffs. Next one, Travis Peterson, who is the crew chief for Michael McDowell, talked about their team will be switching alliances. They were with RFK Racing, but now they'll be moving to Team Penske. He was on the Sirius XM NASCAR radio show, so I had some interesting things to say about it, so I'll play some of that.
Smaller teams like us kind of have to do things like that to survive because we don't have the big engineering departments. So a lot of it, the reason it's called Technical Alliance, is just, getting the support for your simulation tools or processes to measure parts and things like that. And we've kind of always done that with RFK for a long time, and now we're switching over to Penske. So I can't necessarily speak to all of it because we're still in the middle of working out the details of the new one, but the gist is that you don't have 20 engineers at the shop providing information at our place, so you kind of go be aligned with the team that does have that and just use their information.
But very interesting stuff. They're moving on from, I think RFK, they are a little bit smaller than Team Penske. Their Team Penske just won back-to-back championships. They're the top 4 team, right? Even though there was times last year where RFK definitely looked like they were the better of team. They were performing a lot more. This is big. Maybe RFK had alliance with Rick Ware. They had, I guess, 2 alliances, and RFK just ran to stick with one. Maybe they couldn't, the alliance wasn't what, Front Row Motorsports wanted out of the alliance. Maybe they wanted a little more help there. But now they're going to go with maybe a bigger and better team in Team Penske, which is going to be huge, especially for a smaller team. They'll have a lot more resources given to them to help them. And I think Front Row Motorsports is on the up and up. After that Michael McDowell win at the Indianapolis Road Course, I think they could be contenders this year. I could see Michael McDowell winning a race or two and easily competing and contending in the playoffs again. So excited to see that. It'll be an interesting pairing and definitely a great opportunity for Front Row Motorsports to be a much more competitive Ford team. This was announced today. Jimmie Johnson will do the Daytona 500 His sponsor will be Carvana. They will also do the Brickyard 400 in the season final at Phoenix. Carvana was with Jimmie Johnson in IndyCar. They did a couple races last year for Jimmie in NASCAR. So Carvana will have another decent presence with Jimmie Johnson and Legacy Motor Club. 3 races. Johnson will enter for the Daytona 500. He'll be back. He'll be in a Toyota. This is big. I believe this will be 9 races for Jimmie Johnson now, and I believe that's 9 is the official number. There's no plan for Johnson to do any more races. He does also plan to he wants to do the 24-hour Le Mans again. So I'm not sure if that'll be a NASCAR thing or maybe a different team, a part of the Toyota brand. So Jimmie Johnson, going to be a very active race car driver. Some people would consider him to be washed. He's definitely still not the same. He's not the same guy, but he's going to a bunch of tracks he's very successful at. I mean, Dover, 11-time winner. He's won tons of races at Texas, Charlotte, the Brickyard, and he's a 4-time Brickyard 400 winner. So he's very good there. So he's very successful. He's won 2 Daytona 500s. So he knows a lot of tracks are all tracks he's competitive at. So it'll be interesting to see. I think his best chance is the 500 because of the style of racing. But I could still see him with the support that Toyota is giving, him and Legacy Motor Club, and they're being a Tier 1 Toyota team. I could really see him having a lot better opportunity to win races and run up front. Next one, big sponsorship news. Trackhouse lands Wendy's as a multi-driver partnership. They'll sponsor SVG for Talladega, Daniel Suarez for the Daytona 100, and then I believe Ross Chastain. I have not seen anything yet for him, but all three drivers. This is big. Wendy's, big time fast food chain. They were with Noah Gragson. Not sure if he'll be with them. He'll be back with them. I believe they still follow Noah on his socials, so we'll see with that. But man, they get Wendy's, man. I mean, Trackhouse is landing some big time sponsorships, with Busch Beer, WeatherTech, now Wendy's. They have Quaker State in there. Great for Trackhouse. They had a great little hype video, the way they set this thing up. It was sick. It's really cool to see, they have a very mixed, they got a guy from Australia, one guy from Mexico, and one guy from America, right? So they're really mixing it up. It's just kind of cool. I do like how the way Trackhouse is lined up. They have drivers from all different countries and states and all that shebang. So this is awesome. I'm excited to see a Wendy's Trackhouse car in the upcoming season. Last topic, NASCAR announced the format and the schedule for the Clash of the Coliseum. The way it's laid out, a lot different than it was last year. There'll be 3 groups. Each group will get 3 practice sessions. On each group's last session, they will get timed, and whatever their fastest lap was in that last session will determine where they qualify for their heat races on Saturday. So after practice and qualifying, which is all combined one, whatever their fastest lap was in their final session of practice is when they'll line up in all their heat races. They'll go through their heat races. The top 5 for each heat race will make it and be automatically into the Clash. And then on Sunday, there'll be one race, one last chance qualifier. Last year, I believe in the past few years, it was 2 last chance qualifiers, 50 laps. There'll be one last chance qualifier, and there'll be one 75-lap race. Then there'll be the main event. Instead of last year, it was 27 cars. This year, 23 cars. A lot different than when it was last year. The big thing that came out of this, and I guess reported by Bob Pockrass, there will be no fans or fan access on Saturday. And I didn't even know that the heat races were going to be on Saturday. Usually everything's all on one day besides the practice and qualifying. There's no longer any single car qualifying. So this is definitely not a great look. It seemed like no one really knew this until today. I guess the people that bought those tickets didn't know either. And this is really a bad look. Because those people, I guess, are going to spend hundreds of bucks, traveling across the country to come to this one event. And I guess they're going to be missing out on a bunch of racing and entertainment. And even if there is people, there's not going to be a lot of people, so it won't really look good on TV. I had the Mexico Euro Series, which also Daniel Suarez will be racing in. He'll have a sponsorship from Quaker State for that series. But this is, it's confusing. I don't know whose decision this was not to have access for fans. And there's a ton of drama going on Twitter because people are arguing whether or not this seems that this was just announced today. Like, not even teams or drivers or anyone knew about this until today. I didn't even know that the heats were on Saturday. So they're pushing, they're spreading the schedule out a lot more, which is great. I like that, right? But the fact that you're not going to give people that pay for the Sunday ticket to come and watch Saturday action, and also I just think it ruins for people that want to just go for Sunday. They're missing a bunch of the main stuff. Let's wrap today's episode. Let me know how you think about Jimmie Johnson will be doing. What race do you think he'll have the best chance of winning in? How do you think the new alliance with Front Row Motorsports going to Penske, how do you think that will go? And also, what do you think about the new Clash at the Coliseum format? Are you excited for the race? Are you not? Do you want it to go? Where do you want it to go? But yeah, let me know. Hope you guys enjoyed. I love doing this stuff. I love making content for you. Please give me your feedback, what you think. What else you want to see more of? We're getting closer to the season, guys. Before we know, Daytona will be here, the Clash will be here, and it's full swing NASCAR, baby. So let's get it. See you, y'all.